is Tony Rock.
Yes.
I found out about him, and now it makes everyone hates Chris a little interesting, right? Tony Rock is this he's like the alpha version of Chris Rock. That's all he is. Chris Rock is exactly like he's not he doesn't seem aggressive, and Tony's like the more aggressive version of him. He's the more, I'm from New York. My brother might have got bullied, but I was the cool one that got bitches. My brother might have did this, but I was always with this. He's that guy. So their comedy is different. Chris's is very cerebral and judgmental, and Tony's is very comic view and BET. So it's just not a knock, right? Like, he's not an unfunny comedian. He's just his brother's Chris Rock.
Different from his brother. But I would hope that they'd be different. It'd be terrible. Everybody getting out there doing the same thing. Like,
have you seen the Mooney brothers, Paul Mooney's twins?
Oh, yeah, they're twins though. That's kind of
still terrible. Terrible. Let's just call that what it is. It's horrible. Get off the stage. It's not like the Lucas brothers. They're funny.
They're funny.
The Mooney brothers, get out of here. So that was my thoughts. It just blew my mind when I thought about it. Because of course, when you read like Cuckolding, you're like, okay, so wait, there's a guy that says, I'm okay with this. And some of them watch. Okay. Well, there are freaks out there, but now I have to pair that with Will, right? So I'm like, okay, it's been open that they've had this very, let's just call it what it was, Hollywood, frivolous, Men in Black sex parties or whatever. And who cares? I'm not judging that. So it's not hard to imagine. But then I go, well, where do you draw the line? And of course, this is how I was on the internet, because all the videos that people were like, oh, this is fun. This is great. There's a video that was like, this was great until it wasn't. And I'm like, you think? I mean, it's kind of, I don't get it, right? That was my thought. So when I thought about Cuckolding, and if I think Will Smith was a part of that, and if that might have been his reason for slapping Chris Rock, which, by the way, I'm just going to stay morally out of that, whether I think it's right or wrong. I can see where people may make that assumption. Now it just changes. It's like, it's just weird, right? Cuckolding. I mean, if Obama came out and they were like, if Obama slapped somebody on stage and you knew that Michelle Obama was having sex with one of her daughters.
Right.
Listen, let's explain that.
The man just came out.
Slow it. Hold on. Slow it down.
First of all, what I'm saying is,
position the conversation.
What I'm saying is, cuckolding.
Right? Actually, yeah, John. Before you explain yourself, let me explain what this is. This is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show. Hey,
show. Yay!
Can't Tell Us Nothing, the improv group out of Houston, Texas. Everybody, John, Tandy, Amici, myself, representing, holding it down. We take opinions, discussions, topics, turn into improv scenes right on the spot, right in front of your eyes. We just hop into it if something inspires us. If you inspire us, if you're in the chat, leave a hello to you, Benita. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you. Good evening. If anything we say inspires something in your brain, go ahead and put it in the chat. Love to see it. That can all be factored into the show. Oh boy. And John,
gonna try to access. For our listeners, we are talking about my discovery of the word cuckolding.
And would you like to define exactly what it is, John?
Let me look it up.
What's your definition? How do you understand it?
How do I understand it?
Yeah. What does it mean to you?
Somebody is aware and is in what do you want to call it? When someone allows someone else to sleep and have sexual relations with their partner, But I guess that's what I'm understanding, right? Like you just accept it, like you're just like you're into it.
And
I guess you just accept it.
and not that I think you're an expert or anything, but how is that different from an open relationship?
Yeah.
Are they the same?
Well, that's where I'm kind of confused. I'm like,
John.
like, what is the deal? Like, what is the difference in, and of course, why is this a thing? Well, my reason for discovering this is I was listening to Vlad TV, and they were talking about, and there's actually a funny interview with Boosie Badass. I love Boosie Badass on Vlad TV. Watch him. They were talking about cuckolding, and I was like, "What is that?" And I googled cuckolding, and I was like, "Wait a second. You're telling me we are saying Will Smith is like he allowed this to happen, like he is accepting of it, and they're like, is that what people are saying? That's just what people are saying. I don't know, and I don't know. But the interview was talking about them pointing to things that they feel like was because Will Smith was in a cuckolding relationship, an open relationship. He was accepting. He was willing to participate. Maybe he was cuckolding with Jada as well. They was cucking it up, right? Like,
I love that.
Shout out to the cuckolders. I love that word from now on. But so I'm absorbing this, and it's just like as you read anything, and I'm not a gossip person, but let's say you start building a story about what happened, Chris Rock and Will Smith, and now you're like, wait a second. Now I have to add cuckolding to that equation, and I go, oh my goodness, let me take a step back.
How does it factor in? I don't understand the connection.
Well, what the connection is the whole it was good until it wasn't, right? Like the argument was they were complicit, which is the word I was looking for, complicit in that arrangement until it got sour. When it got sour, that's when the storm of chaos, that the entanglement as we heard it, the entanglement that shocked the world. And of course, what happened after that? The whole world starts to chime in and give their opinions, like me, about what happened to that relationship. And of course, it's not our fault we have opinions. I mean, they have a show where they go on and talk about their problems for people to have opinions. Right? So I don't feel judgment at all.
Right.
But as I was collectively taking in all of that, right, I was just like, the internet was just like throwing all kinds of like connections. And I was like, wait a second. Could he have resented the cuckolding?
Well,
and it's so deep with all of the stuff that's layered on top of it, right? He is what it seems like there's, I always said repressed anger, right? Why would there be repressed anger? Because you probably resent things, choices, or identities that you were complicit in, right? Hence,
it's cuckolding. But if you're I'm not sure if the definition only applies to the fact that, you know, the relationship between, say, a wife and her lover is secret from her husband, or if he knows and he agrees with it. Because my understanding, I always thought it was something that he didn't know, and so people would, you know, when they reveal, oh, you being cuckolded, that she's having an affair with such and such. But you know, not that. Yes, I'm okay with the cuckolding. I'll look the other way, and maybe it's both. I don't know. Maybe it's both.
As I said, I don't know.
I think it's a derogatory term. I don't think it's anything anybody like gets T-shirts.
I disagree. I think Will should make it the banner and just ride off in it, man. If he accepts it, I guess. I don't think he's. First of all, I don't know. I don't know if that's cuckolding. I think they were separated, and like I said, who cares? It's all between what they know.
I think the open relationship exists when two people say, hey, we're just gonna have light, casual sexual relationships with other people. We're gonna have light, casual relationships with other people that may be sexual in nature. but it's not going to get into love. It's not going to get into all of this emotional support. It's not going to get into that. And I think what happened in their case was the entanglement part was that there was feeling, there was expectation, there was all that other stuff that the open relationship is not supposed to have. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think
and that sounds more.
Yeah, I think that's why it's a big deal. That's the entanglement. That's why you can use words like it was entangled. It was more complex than me just sleeping with him, and that's the problem.
It was more complex. There was equations. After I mean, that happens. Feelings are not easy on the one, so I get it. Do their thing. As far as Chris Rock trying to come after Jada and shutting her down, that makes sense because I heard him talk about he came after Rihanna one time and she called him like Uncle Chris or something. Like he said he was coming to talk to her, and what he thought was like, everyone knows I'm divorced from my wife, which is a thing. This is my first party single. I got a movie out. I'm trying to get this fame, I guess, sex. So he approaches Rihanna, which somebody in his camp needs to be out of the camp because you're not. Look, I'm not afraid of Chris Rock, obviously, right? Like that's the one thing everybody learned is if you had any chance to show aggression, call it professional all you want. That was the chance. Nonetheless, Rihanna, he approached her, and of course, her response was like gave him she didn't put him in the friend zone. She put him in the uncle zone. Yeah. Whoa.
And then when he say that she looked at him like he was her aunt, like he was like her old aunt, just the way she looked at him. It was
Chris Rock and Rihanna. Boy.
He thought that money was. I don't think that money works with. See, he was trying to. What did Kevin Samuels call? He was trying to get a high status woman. Now he's a high status man.
I mean, he's a high status man.
He's a high status man.
According to Kevin Samuels.
According to Kevin Samuels.
Even in the high status world, there's levels to even higher status.
And she's a higher status, right?
I would say she's at the highest status.
We know his whole name. She goes by one name, right? I think she's Rihanna.
She goes by many names. She has many names.
But she got one that's famously known, Rihanna. That's all you got to say. Everybody know. If you say Chris, which one? Oh, Chris Rock. Oh yeah, we know him. So that's the higher status.
They know bad girl Riri.
That's a nickname. I'm talking about her. I'm talking about her professional government name.
Professional government name.
Yeah, Chris, that was crazy. But nonetheless, I learned about a new word, cuckolding. Now I'm interested in figuring out people. I got to meet somebody who actually fits in that category and not open relationship. And I want to talk to them about the benefits of cuckolding versus the cons of cuckolding, because I have no idea.
I don't think it just exists as a thing that you just partake in. I'm sure you talked to plenty of guys who have been cuckolded. If they said, "Oh, she cheated on me," not you just talked to somebody that was cuckolded. Now, and so you got that experience. I don't know,
So is it cheating? Is it sleeping with him? Hold on, let me read what is this definition? Oxford. A man. This is of a man and of a woman. Of a man making another man a cuckold by having a sexual relationship with his wife. Okay.
Yeah.
And make her husband a cuckold by sexually. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, but maybe that's a kink too. Maybe there's some people, like you were saying before, they participate, they watch. Tell me about it.
So here, this one says they actually have people that like to watch their partner have sex with other people. And that's some of the videos I was watching. Well, some of the clips some of the clips on YouTube.
I like tonight show.
some of the clips on YouTube I was watching. I mean, I have a Pornhub account, but I don't watch anything on there.
You have an account?
Yep.
Season 5?
Yep.
These are time, y'all. We breaking it all down. You are going to get us to know us up close and personal. All the facades come off. I take my hat off. I'm showing y'all my watching money.
Let's see it. Holy crap.
Nah, man. I mean, it ain't. It's a Pornhub. It ain't. It's like going to Target now.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular websites on the internet.
I'm on it because I was the only one not on it. I want to join conversations with people. Like, what did y'all see that up? Is that TMZ? No, that was Pornhub. Pornhub. They got videos like that. You log on, check these highlights. They got influencers on Pornhub, man. Like they got influence. There are people that have like you can basically have it's like YouTube, right? Like you could have your own channel with subscribers, people comment. Like it's so funny to see the whole thing. I mean, there's no shame because I'm not a porn watcher at all. But it's funny as shit to go on there from time to time.
We cut to a couple out on the first date. Yeah, so what do I do for a living? It's an interesting question. I don't know if you've heard of a website called Pornhub, but I'm an influencer on there. Now, I don't do like porn things. I have a professional opinion about other videos on there. I make recommendations, I give advice, things of that nature. And yeah, I have just a slew of subscribers that support me. So that's kind of how I make my living. I don't know. Have you ever been?
I had.
You could be honest.
I have.
Yes, of course. The two of us here.
It's 2022. Of course, I've looked at Pornhub, but it sounds more like you have a. Do you have like a podcast or something?
I do. Yeah, on PornPod. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, if you go on PornPod, do you have your PornPod account? You don't need one. It's free. You can if you don't want ads, you can make an account. But if you don't, anyway, if you go on there, you find me. Antoine Says So. That's the name of the podcast. Then you'll also hear similar content to what you would hear on Pornhub. Matter of fact, why don't you take out your phone, load up Pornhub? I'll show you right now.
Oh well, this is okay. It's the company's phone, so I got to get this off here. You know, I'm just gonna put it on temporarily so you can show me what you want to show me, but I've got to get this out.
Again, I'm not doing anything, scandalous on there. It's again more about advice, but you do have to navigate through a few of those. Yeah,
lots of wow. Whew, it's a little racy here. Okay,
it is.
Okay, I think I found. Oh yeah, here you are. PornPod. That's you.
Yep. That's me. I mean, that's the service that has the podcast on it, but that's where you can find me. So yeah.
Antoine Says So. Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, I see it. I see it here.
So if you ever want any advice on like types of porn that you're looking for, or other things you can do in the bedroom that may be inspired by porn, or actually, I keep using examples. Let's just dive right into it. That's kind of my whole thing. So, what was the last porn that you watched?
Hey, is it? I'm a little uncomfortable, I think.
Really?
It's just
two of us here at this table.
It's a second date. I mean, I figured we'd go through more dates before we got to personal information.
I'm a professional. I do this all the time. It's fine. You just describe the last porn you watched.
You're right, because all the other conversations have not been with a professional. So I think I'll trust this. And okay, so the last porn I watched involved two ladies who went to a male strip club.
Oh,
and and they
you're sweating a little bit. Are you all right?
I thought this was you said you were professional.
I am. I'm just making sure that you're okay.
I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable talking about stuff like this with somebody I don't know.
We cut to the next day. Tandy's in our office, the mayor's office, and she's the mayor, and the aide comes in. Madam Mayor.
Oh yes, yes. Good morning. How are you?
I'm sorry. Word about your date last night is like spreading like wildfire. It's everywhere, all over town. People are talking about it.
Oh, well, I did have a nice time. He was pretty interesting guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There were like a few small protests about the mayor's dating like a porn star. Basically.
Oh my goodness! They know.
Yeah.
The people know who I went out with. I didn't know. I mean, he didn't tell me this before we started. We just started talking about what we do for a living. I didn't even get a chance to tell him I'm the mayor. He started telling me.
We all heard it because I listened to his podcast. You were live on.
I was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Are you serious? He didn't say anything. He didn't ask for any permission. I didn't sign anything. Oh my gosh, what is this going to do for my political career? Are you serious?
Actually, it's actually pretty good. There were a few protests, but more people were really intrigued about learning more about you, and your approval rating has gone way up. So you should probably go back on and I don't know, maybe make an account. Pornhub and
wow, I was
dive into this.
Yeah, I was nervous about seeing him again, but if it's helping my numbers, you know me, elections coming up in November. I got to get out there. I got to get the word out. Maybe hit a new demographic. Okay, well, let me shoot Antoine a message and see if he's free anytime soon.
Cut back to next episode, and by popular demand, bringing Tandy back on. Now, Tandy, I know you got caught up a little bit in my hidden pod segment that I like to do to really get behind the closed doors. I know,
I know you did. Oh, wow.
I know you did, and it was, but it also was a podcast episode, and you were killer on there. I just want to bring you back on. So let's just dive right into it. What have you been looking at since we chatted now, because we've opened that door now? We're in it, so go ahead. I want to hear the nastiest thing that you saw lately.
Oh, I got to get used to this. I'm just not used to talking about myself like that. Well, the next porn that I watched was Dental Delights. I generally, I guess I like porn with women who go to places, they're not just at home, like they're more out and about, kind of like more like me.
Travel porn. I know what you're talking about.
Is that what it's called? It's travel porn when it doesn't happen at your house.
But they specifically leave a place. You have to see them leaving a place and going somewhere, and it's not that they're just not at home.
So she's at the dentist office and you just came in for a routine checkup and things got a little spicy.
As it does.
That's probably all I can really talk about without getting. It's a little hot in here. Is your air on?
Yeah, you're sweating again. Yeah, my air's at full blast right now. Are you sure you don't want to go into the details? The word on the street that your numbers are up, and I think people would love to hear what stood out to you in the dentist office scene.
Yeah, well, thank you. What stood out was the amount of time he took going over her dental history. And
scene. Women going places.
I don't want to be at home. What? I need to go out for this activity.
Travel porn. The porn pod would probably be a hit. They
probably
just described all the different types of porn and have people come on, show their interest. It would be so fire.